Go to my notes. Bex and I went and saw Finn this afternoon, and I said to Finn, look, if it was you up here, I know that you would have learned this off by heart, but I'm too lazy, so there you go. Finn was a gift to us all. He showed us how to love, be loved, expressed compassion and kindness, experienced joy and purpose, and Finn shared his wisdom about how to move through the different, sometimes difficult seasons of life. And as the ultimate giver, Finn didn't ask for anything in return. I was lucky enough to be on the receiving end of one of Finn's gifts. The gift was harder to see as a child. As brother and sister, we had our ups and downs. I used to force Finn into girly clothes and makeup, and he used to throw my beloved teddy bears off our deck. Finn played fun games with our older brothers Sam and Tom, while I ended up being banned for life for crying. But as our life experiences deepened, so did our bond. Finn and I called each other twinnies. We were curious about life and felt like there was something more to it, something deeper within. We mused about the meaning of life and why we are here. On a trip to Sri Lanka a year ago, Finn concluded that love was his life's purpose. I know that his purpose was illuminated by his wife Rebecca, who is the beautiful embodiment of love. I know that Rebecca was Finn's constant reminder of his purpose and his beacon of light. Finn and I were twins in another respect. We both experienced a diagnosable mental health problem. Before I continue, it's important to understand that like our older brothers Sam and Tom, Finn and I experienced an incredibly loving and supportive upbringing, one of the best. But like 1 in 5 New Zealanders this year, Finn and I experienced a diagnosable mental illness. It wasn't brought on by any one thing. It's just like any health issue or physical injury that can emerge over time. There are different types of mental illness. Some are more serious than others, and like physical illnesses, most people survive, but some don't. As a teenager, self-doubt and anxiety about feeling like I had to be perfect Sophie manifested in an eating disorder. I don't know what it was at the time, but I also experienced waves of depression and anxiety. I was lucky. I had access to private therapy and incredible support from loving friends, community, and family. Like many others who live with and manage a mental health problem, there is no one silver bullet. But for me, Finn came as close as it comes to being my magic. He was on the journey with me, which gave me great comfort, and there is no way that I would feel comfortable standing here tonight talking about my own mental health if it hadn't been for him. Finn accepted me as I was, and I never once felt like he was ashamed of my illness, even when I physically looked really quite sick, and everyone was asking what was wrong with me. Finn believed in my recovery, and he believed in me. There was never any judgment. Often our natural inclination is to want to fix someone or take their pain away. The focus can be on doing it for someone rather than simply being there and holding safe, secure space for them. Finn gave me the opportunity to recover my way while walking beside me. Finn accepted and loved me just the way that I am, and in turn, I accepted and loved myself. He showed me how to truly be there for someone, and most importantly, he showed me how to be there for myself. Finn told me that freedom comes from realizing that all we need is the love within ourselves. Everything external outside of us is a bonus, like icing on an already delicious cake. Finn helped me to free myself from perfect Sophie. It was the ultimate gift. And if it ever looked like the desire to be perfect Sophie was creeping back in, Finn would remind me. A couple of weeks ago, I found a note he wrote when I'd just ditched my job as a TV news correspondent and it felt like my world was falling apart. Finn said, "Sophie, thank you for being the wonderful, kind soul that you are. You're a gift to us all, and believe me, you're perfect just the way that you are. All my love, absolutely always, Finn." It sometimes felt like a bit of a game of tennis. Finn would support me, and then I would support him. We also had what we called our A-team, made up of good sleep, daily exercise, healthy food, not much booze, and we even shared the same therapist. Finn connected to his inner world through quiet contemplation, and I connect to myself through yoga and meditation. We would dial our A-team up or down depending on our internal or external landscapes. If a big shift in work or relationships was on the horizon, we put the A team to work. Without really knowing it, we were building our inner resource and mental fitness. Thinking back, I wish my younger self had known about the importance of training and getting to know my mind and building mental fitness. Think how much time and effort we put into learning about our bodies and working on our physical health, yet we don't do the same for our minds. The same attention is required for our mental health, and we all need it, some more than others. Going through hard times is a completely normal part of being human. But the trick is to not begin training when you're feeling shaky. Start early, work at maintaining your mental fitness, and develop awareness so you know when it's time to reach out for help. I still do therapy, take anti-anxiety medication, and do yoga and meditation most days. I don't get on my mat so I can bend like a pretzel. That'll never happen. I get on my mat to be with myself and quieten my mind, even if it is for just a moment or two. Finn gave yoga a go, just like he gave everything a go. He put everything into his mental wellness and worked at it like it was his final law exam, a grudge match between Rangi and Westlake, or a criminal trial. Finn had huge inner resilience, and he understood the importance of asking for help. For the vast majority of New Zealanders who experience mental health difficulties, a modest amount of help is all that is needed. But Finn's mental illness was as bad as it gets. Although he fought with every inch of his being and received help, it just wasn't enough. In the same way that all the treatment in the world sometimes isn't enough for some of the most serious physical illnesses. To an extent, I understood Finn's pain, and like many, I wanted help for my brother, the best help. Like anyone suffering any sort of illness, be it mental or physical, Finn deserved dignified, respectful, empathetic, and professional care. We fought long and hard in a system that's been starved of funding and resources for decades. We are finally seeing some desperately overdue investment in public mental health services, but it will take years to repair and reach a point where every New Zealander gets the help that they deserve, that they need and deserve. It's something that we as a community should support and push for. Finn's death is beyond heartbreaking. If there's any silver lining at all, it's the opportunity it gives us to reflect on mental health as a challenge and to help each other help ourselves. Cultivating mental fitness and well-being and addressing a mental health issue or illness isn't something that we need to do on our own. There are experts out there who can help, and friends and family who will support. The Finn Lowery Foundation will enable some of this work to take place, and there are things that we can all do. Finn shared advice and wisdom with so many, so I'd like to share what I think Finn would want you to hold on to tonight. Everyone here has mental health, just like everyone has physical health, and we all need mental fitness. If you don't know where to start, step away from your to-do list and take time to simply be with yourself and be still. Notice how you truly are. Think about what makes you feel good and make a commitment to do these things often. Have compassion for ourselves and those around us. There is nothing earned about mental illness. No one chooses or deserves to experience a mental illness. And those who do are owed empathy, respect, dignity, and professional care. Mental illness does not define who you are, and it's not a weakness. In fact, there are gifts in the experience, a deep understanding of ourselves and others, and freedom and comfort from knowing the strength of one's inner resource. Asking for expert help may seem like a big step in the moment, but like any illness, you deserve support, and it does help, especially if you get onto things early. If you're worried about someone, talk to them and offer to share the load. Keep talking and keep extending a hand. If they need expert assistance, help them get it. And keep pushing for the right help until it's delivered. Hold on to hope. It can be hard to see the light in dark times, but they do pass. Experience and find the joy in the small things. This is one of Finn's favourites. The sun on your back, wind on your face, and a warm cup of coffee between your hands. Don't be afraid to lower your horizons. Delight in the simple, slow, lighter side of life. And finally, be generous with your heart and live from a place of love. To the man with the most generous heart, Finn is a devoted and loving husband to Rebecca, best mate and brother to Sam, Tom and I, adored son of Anna and Martin, an incredible uncle, grandson, nephew, friend, colleague and teammate. Finn had a huge amount of good luck in his life, but he also had the bad luck of having a devastating mental illness. Finn desperately wanted to live and to live out his purpose of love. He didn't want his illness to define his life or his legacy. What does define Finn is his gift. His gift to me, to Rebecca, to his family, friends, community, and now to others who are walking in his shoes and need someone to walk alongside him.